Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Yes, I know these videos are stupid late. I had to work late, and yeah, that's why these videos are coming out insanely late. But hey, better late than never, right? Anywho, we're going to be talking about bros. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Uh, First pro is that reviews for this movie are quite good, in fact. Very good. Look at Rotten Tomatoes off screen. Here we go. Its score right now is 91%, and its audience score is 90%. So, how on earth could that be considered a negative? So, word of mouth definitely isn't an issue here. And its cinema score, I believe, is an A. Looking off screen. Yes, it is an A. So word of mouth is not a problem. The people who saw the movie liked the movie, so that's obviously good. So that's a pro, easy pro, is that word of mouth is good across, everything. Pro number two, competition overall is weak ish. It's not very strong. I mean, you can literally say that about the entire month of September and majority of August. I mean, Don't Worry Darling is pretty much guaranteed to crumble this weekend. Um and while Smile is the only movie that seems to be on track to do really well, everything else is just kind of there. So that gives bros an opportunity to maybe, I don't know, maybe make some money out of it, take advantage of the weak marketplace. And like after this, I mean, next weekend, it's not that much stronger, really. I mean, I thought Amsterdam could be a big hit, but those early reviews are telling me otherwise. And I seriously doubt Lyle Lyle Crocodile will make a big impact too. So overall, weak marketplace could be an opportunity for bros to make some cash. So weak marketplace is a pro here. Another pro is that this movie is the first of its kind. As you can already guess, it's a gay rom com, but not just that, it's a gay rom com from a major studio, from Universal. Okay? Like, they're willing to distribute this and be like, yep, we're doing this. Gay rom com, let's go. Which is more than what Disney has ever done, when it comes to this type of stuff. So being the first of its kind, helps it, set it apart from everything else, makes it really stand out. And that's a good thing, right? You don't want to just like it's better to stand out in the marketplace than rather just be just another movie that people just look at and be like, "Oh, that exists." So, I guess the novelty factor of this could be a pro. I don't know how much of a pro, but it could be a pro. So, I'm gonna say that, the novelty of this being like the first, you know, gay rom com from a major studio, that's a pro. Any other pros I can think of? I mean, this has been getting ads. Not a whole lot of ads, but ads nonetheless. I've been seeing several ads on YouTube, so it has a presence. Universal didn't completely give up on this movie, so I would consider that to be, well, it's more of a minor pro. Uh, I think that's it with pros. Okay, cons. The biggest con for this movie easily is, well, I have to phrase it as a question because this is obviously, you know, gay rom com, very LGBTQ plus, right? It's the whole theme of the movie. How many non you say, how many straight people are willing to watch a movie like this? Right? That's the big question. Because obviously this will appeal to non-straight people because it's more or less made for them. But what about everybody else? Right? Because, some would say that some would definitely say there's definitely this stigma of, say, if you watch anything that's remotely gay, then you are gay, which is beyond stupid. But people actually think that. So that stigma is obviously still in, quite a few people. So yeah, like the big if this movie's gonna succeed, it has to appeal to both non-straight people and straight people. You have to appeal to both sides equally. It's kind of like the same logic used for, say, a video game movie. Like obviously with the video game movie, the fans of the game are gonna show up, but in order for it to really succeed, you gotta appeal to the non-fans, the people who are outside the bubble, who don't know that much about said, source material for games. You appeal to them and the fans, you print money. We've seen that with the Sonic movies. We've seen that with the Uncharted movie, recently. And the same rule kind of applies here. Like you have to appeal to people outside of the LGBTQ plus bubble. You appeal to them, and the movie could do better. But it remains to be seen if that will happen. And at the rate things are going, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, yeah, just a question: how many straight people are willing to watch a movie like this? That's the big con for this movie, dealing with that question. Another con is that was the genre itself, like the R rate. Well, not actually, yeah, actually two genres: R-rated comedies and rom-coms. Both are quite dead in the modern movie marketplace. I mean, like R-rated comedies, they used to be so big, like a long time ago, like freaking for several decades, in fact. I mean, going back to like the late '90s. I mean, you had like American Pie, like in '99. Then like the 2000s, you had movies like The Hangover that hit it really big. Wedding Crashers hit it big. Trying to remember. Some of these comedies were actually PG-13. I'm trying to remember those like really raunchy R-rated comedies. Well, I guess the American Pie movies. Yeah, they definitely count in that department. And then like the early 2010s, it was very big. I mean, you had like movies like obviously Hangover, Hangover Part 2, Bridesmaids, Horrible Bosses, Bad Teacher, Ted, Neighbors, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, Trainwreck, uh, probably missing a few. I guess The Heat, all did extremely well. And then for some reason, everything just fell off like really hard out of nowhere. And some people theorize it's because people can get the same type of laughs like for free online when compared to just watching it like in a theater, which yeah, there is some truth to that. So like I mean there have been some R-rated comedy hits in the last few years, like Good Boys in 2019 and Jackass Forever earlier this year, but overall the R-rated comedy scene is just not it's not what it once was. Same goes for rom-coms. When was the last time we had a big successful rom-com? It's been ages. So I'm about to show you. Romantic comedy. Okay. Let's look through this. Let's scroll through this. I feel like I'm gonna be scrolling for a while. Apparently there's What Men Want, which was like a remake of like What Women Want. That only did I did okay-ish. And Oh yeah, it's been a long time since we really had one. I guess just forgetting Sarah Marshall, that was kind of anti-romantic comedy, kind of, because it was about like a breakup, but then like the guy did find another, girl like Jason Segel. He found like Mila Kunis. I don't know. Like that was the whole gist of forgetting Sarah Marshall. But yeah, like the whole genre, it kind of died in theaters. Like a lot of these movies, like rom coms, are now like on streaming. I mean, on freaking Peacock, you have like Meet Cute with like Pete Davidson, the- which just proves my point exactly. Like the theatrical rom com is pretty much dead. Same goes for the R-rated comedy is dead, and this is both. So that's not good being a part of two dead genres. So that's a con. Big con being involved with not one but two dead genres. So yeah. Another con is its Thursday box office only made like 500,000, which is not great. Although I wasn't expecting a whole lot from a movie like this. It's not like it's like a fan fueled movie or anything. But it's the same number that, let me look it up. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same number that, I have to go to Universal. It's the same number that freaking Easter Sunday movie. I think I had the same number. I'm gonna check. Here it is. Looking at the numbers. Yep, it's the same. 500,000, the exact same. That's a really bad sign because Easter Sunday only made open with $5 million, and it made like 13 million total, which is terrible. I feel like Bros will do slightly better than that. I don't know by how much, but it should do at least somewhat better than that. But still, that's not a good precedent. That's not a good sign at all. So, it's weak-ish Thursday box office. I would consider that to be a con. I guess another con, I mean, yes, I mentioned how this movie's kind of like the first of its kind, which is a good thing. It stands out, but the problem is it's very difficult to compare this to anything else. I mean, I've thought of some movies that could be comparable, but not really. So, one of them, like we're talking like the theme of, you know, I'm just gayness. Let's just say that. Like the closest things we have to that. I mean, there's Love Simon from 2018. That's a very more recent comparison, but that was a completely different movie, well, type of movie. That was aimed more towards like the young adult crowd and was like PG-13. So, and while Bros is like hard R, so obviously you're not going after the same demographic. But that movie opened with like 11 million, made like 40 million domestic. So, mm, not a great comparison, but it's like the best case scenario. And now this next comparison, before you get out your pitchforks and torches, and before you cancel me, look, I know this is an awful comparison. I hate that I have to use this comparison, but I don't have too many options here. So this was also from Universal 15 years ago. Uh, I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. uh, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry God. So obviously that came out that had Adam Sandler, Kevin James. Like, Adam Sandler was like the peak of his box office might around this time. The fact that he could get a movie like this to be successful is proof of that. And I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry is really weird because it's like it tries to be like on one side it's like yay gay rights, and on the other side it's like, oh, gay people are so funny, they're so kooky and weird. Like, pick a side. Like, because you chose both sides, now the message is all confused. And there's like a lot of, obviously many people would say the movie is aged terribly. I haven't seen, I tried to watch it, but I didn't finish it. But from what I've seen, I'm like, yeah, this would not fly today. Nope, not at all. And besides the fact that the movie would kind of fall apart when you realize, wait a minute, these two guys didn't even have to pretend to be gay. They could have just said, hey, we're bisexual, and there'd be a lot less questions. But that's besides the point. That movie opened like 34 million, and it made like over 100 million domestic. That's not going to happen with Bros, not at all. I mean, Bros, I mean, it has like Billy Eichner, who is in fact gay. And, he is a somewhat well-known name. I know he was Timon in the Lion King movie I refuse to acknowledge. But I've heard he was one of the better parts of that movie, so good for him. But obviously, Billy Eichner is no Adam Sandler when it comes to drawing power. But sometimes you don't really need that in comedy. You don't even need big name actors. What you really need is like good story, good characters, good jokes. You have those three, you can be a hit. So, I mean, that's how Superbad became as big as it was. Even The Hangover, same thing. So, like, when it comes to comedies, like, star power is kind of overrated. But it doesn't, it doesn't hurt to have it. So, yeah. Yeah, just extreme lack of comparisons, that's a con. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So opening weekend. Hmm. I was gonna say 10, but I'm gonna have to bring that down thanks to this preview number. I think it's gonna open between 6 and 8 million. Like, it's gonna open between that, which, wouldn't be great at all. I mean, the movie cost like $22 million, so and it's total, I don't know, 20, I guess. That's what I'm sticking with. So, yeah, yeah, that's Bros. Now's for the other two movies this weekend. I pressed the wrong thing. There we go. We have The Good House, which is a wide release for some reason, and then we have Smile, the movie people are actually gonna watch. So, gotta do those two, and then that'll be it for the weekend. And that'll be it for September, because literally September, it's October now as I record this. So September is done. So, yeah, and not a moment too soon. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? Got playlists on the homepage of all previous prediction videos I made this year. Want to watch any of the past Universal movies I've covered this year, all the big ones like, say, Jurassic World Dominion, Minions 2, Nope, movies like Bad Guys, and even some of their smaller movies like Easter Sunday and now Bros. Want to watch any of those? Go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered Bros once before. I think it was back in January. I'm gonna check off screen. Yeah, it was January. It was episode 103. I talked about that alongside TMNT. Well, it was called TMNT The Next Chapter at the time. It's now called Mutant Mayhem. The untitled Quiet Place movie, which is now Quiet Place Day 1, and then like some animated Transformers movie. I talked about it alongside those. So if you want to watch that episode or any other cancel episodes, there's like 157 now. So you got plenty to choose from. So binge it all from beginning to now. Highly encourage it. Go do that. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. Just did my 2-part summer 2022 recap. I did the winners, I did the losers. It's up now. Thank God. That's over. And next week I will be doing the recap for September. Do it early and not just delay it by a whole lot. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.